Hey guys, the name's Genome Saha, and I'm back with another Pokemon Showdown video. So for today, I'm going to be presenting a singles team that, well, I wish I didn't make, actually. It's so toxic that most of the Pokemon that are on this team carry toxic. It's basically a full bulk team with a Diggersby. Because Diggersby's Earthquake is basically it kills most Pokemon. So you basically that's your win condition. Besides that, you can just stall them out with your other Pokemon. So the Pokemon include Corviknight, Amoonguss, Toxapex, Tangrowth, Chansey. I don't think there's one Pokemon that doesn't survive a hit from every single other Pokemon in the game. These are all bulky Pokemon except Diggersby. These are all bulky Pokemon that stall your opponents out. If you want to be toxic, if you want to be a bad person, run this team. Corviknight runs heavy duty boots, roost, body press, defog, iron defense. Now, what this means is that it's not affected by stealth rocks. It's not affected by physical attackers. It's only what only affects it is electric type moves and fire type moves, which are most of the time physical. So one iron defense makes it invincible, and then you have roost that basically heals it. Now, if you don't want to deal with the electric types, the fire types, you have Toxapex. Or the fire types, you don't want to deal with the fire types, you have Toxapex. Toxapex is a well-known staller. It's literally known for its stalling. Two of these, it has Regenerator, which means that if you switch it out and come back in, it regains 50% of its HP, I believe. I run Black Sludge on it with Baneful Bunker, Toxic Spike, Scald, and Recover. Max investment in defense and Spadef with a calm nature, which means it survives hits. Earthquake is not killing it. Volt Switch is not killing it. Thunderbolt is not killing it. It'll recover back. You can. What this team basically is it's either your Pokemon are getting killed by Diggersby Earthquake, or it's getting stalled out with Toxic. This is a toxic team that kills Pokemon with Toxic. Toxapex's Baneful Bunker will make it so that physical hits will poison the opponent. Toxic Spikes makes it so that the other opponent gets poison every time it switches in, which will need to because you're switching in Pokemon all the time and you're healing. So along with Toxapex, I run Amoonguss. Amoonguss has Spore, Toxic, Hex, Sludge Bomb. Amoonguss, I put some investment in special attack because I wanted to. I mean, it's impish, so it loses some special attack. But besides that, it does a lot of damage with uh, Sludge Bomb and Hex. So this makes it so that I think I should change the nature from impish to maybe calm or careful. But Amoonguss is more of an offensive threat as well as a staller. If you spore a Pokemon, falls asleep, then you can they probably will switch it out. So you can toxic them, you can hex them, you can sludge bomb them. Amoonguss is a perfect counter to so many Pokemon. Uh, Corviknight, I'm running Impish Nature, so that it's even bulkier. And Amoonguss, because it runs leftovers, its longevity is increased. It stays on the field for much longer. Like I said, if you want to be a good person, don't run this team. If you see this team on Showdown, BM them. If I don't see people BMing me when I'm using this team, I'm going to be very disappointed because this team is an absolute trash team for a trash human. Okay, Amoonguss is it's bulky. It's defense, Spadef, and special attack. For Toxic Hex, Sludge Bomb, Ability Regenerator, and leftovers. So Tangrowth. Tangrowth's you most of the time you either start off with Tangrowth or you start off with Diggersby, depending on what you see. See, the thing with Tangrowth is its longevity is really good. It's not especially defensive, so you don't want to lead it with I don't know a Venusaur. You don't want to lead it with any special attackers that are going against it. If there's a fire special, if you see a Rotom Heat, then don't run Tangle Growth, run Toxapex. You run Chansey. For this Tangrowth, I'm running Bolt with with investment in defense and special attack because there's no point in running investment in Spadef because it's 50. You're going to die to special attacks. I run Giga Drain for longevity, Toxic for toxic stalling, and Protect for toxic stalling, and Sludge Bomb for that extra chance of poisoning. Rocky Helmet because U-turn is really in meta right now, so Rocky Helmet stops Pokemon. It damages Pokemon every time they U-turn out, and Tangrowth doesn't get that much damage from U-turn. With Tangrowth, I run Chansey. Chansey is another toxic mon. Do not run Chan. See, these 5 Pokemon that I'm saying, maybe run 2 on your team if you don't want to be a bad person. I run Toxapex on my team, on my actual team. Besides that, I don't run anything. This team is literally 5 stallers. Don't run. Maybe choose 1 or 2 of these Pokemon to run on your team if needed, but don't run all 5. Chansey is known for its HP. Its max, it probably has the highest base HP stat with 250. It has a 5. Hold on. Oops. I don't want the defense stat. I want the Spadef stat. Yep. Okay. So you don't want basically you don't want Chansey. So what you do with Chansey and Tangrowth is one's specially defensive and one's defensive. If you see Pokemon that's specially defensive, you switch out to Chansey. If you see one that's defensive, you run Tangrowth, or physically offensive and specially offensive, respectively, because Chansey's defense stat is 5 and Tangrowth's special defense stat is 50. So you want to switch between them. You run Tangrowth in the beginning because U-turn is something that a lot of strategies include. Now, the thing about this team that is so toxic is because the thing is, almost all of these Pokemon can heal in one way or another. Chansey has Soft Boiled, Tangrowth, I believe, has Giga Drain, Toxapex has Regenerate, Amoonguss has Regenerate, and Corviknight has Roost. So they don't die unless you want them to die, right? So what happens is you stall them out for like 50 turns. These games that you play with this team are really long. You'll win games, but they're really long and they piss off both you and your opponent. Honestly, don't run this team, but that's how you win with this team. You toxic stall, you Giga Drain stall, you softball stall, you seismic toss. You're playing with level 100 Pokemon. That means seismic toss does 100 damage. So 4 seismic tosses kills someone, right? So, and Roost with Corviknight, if you get off 2 iron defenses, Body Press does a lot of damage. And the final Pokemon, which is a little bit less toxic and out of the ordinary, and I wanted to leave it in here, keep it in here to make this team a little less toxic, a little less like I want to punch myself in the face. There's Diggersby. So Diggersby is a really strong Pokemon that less people use because of how weak it is, right? Most people run Sash on it because it's so weak. It has a lot of weaknesses: fighting, grass, water. It dies to a really strong Pokemon, like a really strong hit. Grassy Glide kills it. There's just a lot. That's why you run Scarf on it with U-turn. This makes it so that you get the momentum. If this was a normal team, I would run Diggersby in the beginning. Like the previous team that I showed you, I run Choice Scarf on my Urshifu for the momentum. So I run Choice Scarf on Diggersby for the momentum. Earthquake with Diggersby does so much damage. With huge power, stab, it just does so much damage. It kills Pokemon that are frail. It brings some Pokemon to 50%. And Giga Impact does even more damage. And that's the thing with Diggersby. So, it's for the momentum. You're not going to lose games with this team. If you do lose games, it's because maybe they found a way to fight your stallers, but you're going to run 50-turn games, but besides that, you won't lose. So I run an Adamant set in investment in attack and speed, but some in HP. So how you start off with this team is if you see they're running a U-turn set team, you run Tangrowth in the beginning. You intoxicate whatever comes in. You make sure that the U-turn goes into Tangrowth, nothing else. Then you respond as they do, right? If they switch into Cinderace, you switch into Toxapex. You set up spikes. You Scald. You Baneful Bunker because Cinderace is a physical mon. If they send in, let's see, if they send in Mandibuzz, let's say, if they send in Mandibuzz, you can switch into Corviknight. You can Iron Defense a couple of times, or you can switch into Chansey and you can just Seismic Toss them to death. If they have a major fire type Pokemon in the beginning, then you don't switch into Diggersby. Let's see. If they have Komo-o, which is a known fighting type, you kill them with Corviknight with its body press. You kill them with Toxapex. You can kill them with Tangrowth. There is always a response to whatever your opponent is bringing. That's it. Hopefully, you don't use this team in your actual matches if it's competitively. Just use this for fun. If you feel like pissing off someone today, then use this team. But besides that, don't use this team. I'll show it to you tomorrow, but don't use this team. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.